Do you remember your first day at your current job? If you're like most people, you were probably nervous and didn't get much sleep at all the night before. Now that's a completely normal feeling. After all, starting a new job is a big change, regardless of its ranking in the corporate or professional world. The point I'm trying to make is this. If everyone's anxious when they start their new job, then the doctor that you just hired probably feels the exact same way. Whether it's a seasoned healthcare professional or a recent graduate, they're worried about their new job. From your perspective, you're excited. After a long hiring process consisting of multiple phases, hundreds of questions, and thousands of hours, you found the perfect candidate to fill the empty spot on your practice. So the last thing you want after all of this work is to lose your new employee because of their new job anxiety. Hi everyone, I'm Matt from eTactics, and today I'm going to share 5 friendly ways to welcome a new doctor to your practice or healthcare facility. Before we get started though, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking the button below. While you're down there, hit that alert bell icon next to it as well, so when we post new helpful content, you get notified. The first way to welcome your new doctor is to create a welcome kit or care package. This might be a foreign concept to most organizations, but the bottom line is that everyone likes free stuff. As I mentioned earlier, getting a new job leads to a mixed bag of both anxious and exciting feelings. But through all of that, they want to represent your organization now that they're a part of it. If you're a modern day practice, you most likely have some swagger promotional items laying around your office that you give to your patients anyways. Now take a couple of those items, bundle them together with a gift card to a restaurant or a shopping center that most people like, and place it at their workstation as a welcoming kit. Place the welcoming kit on their desk before they start and pair it with a heartfelt letter telling them how excited you are to have them be a part of your team. Next up, you should announce their new position to the masses. In a previous video, I dove into the details of new doctor announcements. Now, announcing your new doctor accomplishes 2 main things. First, it lets your current and prospective patients know that you're growing, which is an area I touched on in a previous video. Second, it makes your new doctor feel as though they're part of the team, which is what I'll talk about in this video. When you welcome them with online social media announcements, press releases, or video interviews, you're allowing your patients to leave positive comments expressing their excitement about the latest addition to your practice. The end result is that they feel welcomed. Our third way to welcome a new doctor might seem a little bit obvious, yet it's one of the most important aspects I've mentioned this far. Introduce them the right way. It's highly likely that you already do this with all of your new staff, regardless of their title. But how significant is this process at your practice? Think about the last time you introduced your newest staff member. Did your existing employees seem engaged in the conversation? Act as though they were too busy to meet your new coworker? Or introduce themselves in a professional manner? Each of these are important aspects to keep in mind when you're walking your new doctor through your practice to introduce them to the other staff members around them. How your staff members first interact with the new doctor at your practice not only establishes how their relationship will be in the future, but it also establishes their overall sense of your organization's culture. Our fourth way to welcome a new doctor is even more obvious than the last. Remember their name. This goes without saying, but remembering your doctor's name is something you and your team should prioritize, believe it or not. Between an industry standard turnover rate and the fact that you're a growing practice, you need to hire new employees consistently. Although this is great, it makes it a little bit harder for you and your team to remember the names of all the new faces at your office. Your new hires understand that this is an innocent and unintentional mistake though, right? People mess up each other's names all of the time. Well, according to psychology research, when you've forgotten someone's name, it tells them that you either weren't interested or invested in remembering them at all. That's not something you want any of your new hires to feel. Now, the final and 5th way to help your new doctor feel welcomed at your practice is by taking them to lunch on their first day. The very first day that your new doctor starts the practice sets the tone for how they feel welcomed in the future. Now, they have a lot to take in during their first 4 hours at their new job. Their first half of their day is overwhelming between all the paperwork, maybe a tour, introductions with employees, and HIPAA training courses. It's also more than likely that they won't feel a part of the team just yet either. But what if I told you that this mentality can change within a 60-minute break? All you have to do is take your new doctor to lunch with them. Breaking bread with the new members of your workforce is not only helpful in transitioning them to a team member, but it also helps you accomplish practice goals. It's so helpful that Cornell University actually ran a study on its effects and found that eating together as a team helps improve collaboration and increases overall productivity. You've picked the perfect candidate to fill the empty position within your practice. Their first day is coming up, and you want them to feel as welcomed as possible. But in order to start on the right foot, you need to make this new doctor feel welcome. This process starts before they've even stepped into your practice for their first day and continues throughout their tenure at your organization. Luckily, making them feel a part of the team isn't very difficult, and the small gestures go a long way. If you'd like to learn more about welcoming new doctors to your organization, reach out to eTactics. And you already made it this far into the video, so you might as well like it, share it, and comment below. Well, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to our channel.